Well, I did a thing. Gotta get used to a new tractor, new to you tractor. And it's got this on off for the battery. And let's just say I didn't off. And we dead her to stomp. I mean, handshake. And no, I'm not standing in front of the drive. So, but anyways, pull the switch. Oh, well, it'd help if I turn it on, but it still ain't gonna work. Yeah, there's nothing there. But anyways, so I take this cover off, and I look down in there, and its battery says 421, which ain't that long ago, you know, a year and a half. This battery should still be good to go. However, he didn't run this tractor. I think it sat in his garage for the last, good grief, could be years. And I went through 50 questions, and that's one of the questions I did not ask was very specifically, when's the last time you ran it? Not just started it up to move it, but ran it. And I think it's been, the other battery went dead. It called it quits, and he went and got this one in the spring of 21, just so he was able to move it around and jockey it. So I'm gonna go ahead and trickle charge this for a couple hours, just enough to get it juiced. But that battery, believe it or not, it may be shot already. And I'm declaring this Cub Week, in case you haven't noticed yet. Yeah, you go to Farmall Fanatics, plural, on Facebook, Fake Book if you're on there. And that's the group you can join, request to join. And there's some cool stuff on there. We have Ron Smith. He's a connoisseur of sorts, and he rebuilds carburetors for Farmall tractors. So if I was a you kind of man and I didn't want to do my own carb rebuilds, I would definitely join that group. It's called Farmall Fanatics with an S, plural. And then you can follow me on Facebook, Farmall Fanatic. Let's get this hooked up. And I'll keep that right at 2 amp. I'm getting ready to leave for a little bit. But the goal today is get this thing fired up, figure the battery situation out. I got a tester I'm going to put on there, and get this thing ready for winter. I do plan on plowing the driveway with it. I've got a snow plow for it, so why wouldn't I plow with it? Rear tires are loaded. I do have tire chains for it. I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to plow with and without the chains, and just to see the difference. But I'm not playing the battery game. I almost wish I wouldn't have shown some of you the date on there, but certainly at 18 months a battery can really take a crap if it's not maintained and it's neglected. So yeah, I'm not going to play the game with it. It's got a shot at the title right now to get right. I've ran this tractor. It does start, it was starting kind of like it had a battery issue already. So this is going to be strike 3, and then I just go and turn that one in for a core and buy a new one and be done with it. Because if I'm going to run this in the winter, again, I ain't playing the game. So today we're going to get this snowplow put on here. Some people were like, oh, put the blade backwards, do this, do that. And then you'll be able to, because the Cub PTO runs counterclockwise, not clockwise. And I was like, okay, well, that's 1,000 PTO, and this is a 540. This was really made for a Super A, 100, 130, 140. That's what it was. That's what it's set up for. And here's the thing: am I picking up another tractor before winter? It'd have to be a steal of a deal. I mean, because most of these aren't going to get wintertime action. I'll be using probably the Super C, now this Cub. Maybe the 756, maybe the 400, because it's got the loader on it. But if this Cub does half of what I think it can do, this can be a one-man wrecking crew right here. So yeah, I want to get this put somewhere, and I'll probably just throw a tarp over it, hit these Zerks, a few Zerks on here, grease them up, turn it, maybe even by hand, just to get the bearings moving. And like I say, just tarp it and be done with it. Somebody says, oh yeah, you paint it red. Oh, that's probably a spring project, if I do it. All right, now, I don't know, 2-3 episodes ago, I did briefly mention that this was welded, this support arm, to lift and lower the plow blade itself. I have no problems with a weld. I absolutely don't. A good welder that knows what they're doing. This will be the last place this gives, if it's going to ever give again. I will put some primer and some paint on there, just so it ain't metal versus moisture. But yeah, that's not a problem to me. I just wanted to point that out. I'm not here to just say, oh, look how great my tractor is. No, I mean, it's a 1955. You know, a lot of you weren't even born then. So, yep, I think for that year of tractor, and pretty much all my tractors, I was talking last night to somebody, and you know, none of these are parade tractors or show tractors. They're all field ready, and we all have our definition of what field ready is. Mine is simply this: can it go to the field and do what I ask it to do? Not superiorly, but can it just do it? And yeah, so yeah, mine are all field ready. There you go, my definition. And in the process of getting that Cub ready for winter, I'm basically getting the tractors stored for winter and just getting them lined up. The A is not a wintertime tractor. I'm not saying if we don't have snow and I got trees down or something, I won't pull it out and do my old famous, hey, look what my A can pull. The H is not a wintertime tractor. It's, you know, I've plowed with it, planted with it, sprayed with it, but really it's going to be a designated spraying, planting tractor. That's it. It'll pull a grain drill in the sprayer. This tractor, I have not fully decided yet. I will say that before I did the upgrades, the carburetor and the new mag wires, all that stuff, it pulled a 2-bottom plow. You can go into my Farmall A playlist and see that. So, you know, I'm not turkey talking you. And the M is another tractor that I won't use in the winter, so I'm thinking just back that right in to the A. So I'll have the H, the A, and the M sitting here, and then more than likely just back the Super C in here, put the Cub that I am going to use in the winter in here, and then I'll put 2 tractors in the barn. I'm at 8 tractors right now. I'm maxed out. I have to get a building up. It's got to be at least twice this size. I mean, I literally, as soon as they put this up, I had it full. I just backed all the machines in there. It's like, okay, that's full next. So yeah, I could see probably 2 more buildings here. One for the combine and grain truck, and then more tractors. I hate to admit it, but anyway, somebody was asking me about what's going on with the combine. Well, pulling that feeder house off of there kind of stretched out the hydrostatic cable. Now, do I think it's maybe okay? Yeah, I think it's maybe okay, but am I comfortable having to fix it during harvest? Not really. So I'm tracking one of those down right now for a 550. Probably a 510 might fit it. I don't know. I got to do more research on that end of things, but yeah, 400 still sitting there with it. I did buy bucket benders, 4,000 pound bucket benders. So when I go to put that thing on, I'll just put the forks right in that hole right there, pick it up, line it up, and then can even shimmy it over by hand just to line it up into those grooves. Once it's in the grooves, you lock it down, it's done. Lock the bottom, hook the hoses up, and it's over. So yeah, pretty simple, but not always easy finding parts. I see why some people choose certain brands just for the simple fact you can get parts for them. Well, you can see I got the Super C hooked up to the 510 grain drill, and I think I figured something out. That carry-all that he made, that I bought, he didn't make that first 460. He made that first 240. You know what that means. Well, I got the hitch out. It's time to see if this Super C will back right in. Whew. Save me from buying another tractor, wouldn't it? Not that I won't anyways. I know the prongs are right. They're fitting now. I mean, I don't know why it's not sliding in there for the life of me. I don't know. Let me keep tampering with it. It fits, but it ain't snapping in. Yeah, for some reason it's not snapping in. They are the right prongs, so this was made for his 240. I think I just go back into something real lightly and press it in against this and that, and I think we're locked in. Yeah. Il Super C is gonna have a new friend if I can get it locked in all the way. Everything measures up except for the tip of the prong. It's like, I don't know, an 1/8 inch, a 1/4 inch too tall. But lengthwise and widthwise, that fits. Huh. I mean, there's daylight in the back. Easily fit there, but it's not getting through up here. So there must be just a minute difference when it comes to the 240 versus the Super C as far as the fastage. I did not know that, but I'm gonna get this thing pulled off here, I guess. Back it in the barn and just drop it. I mean, does it fit? Yeah, I guess. Does it fit correctly? Absolutely not. Not with, I mean, you can see both sides. I even pulled both clips out of the socket to look better. You can see up in there, it's barely touching, so it won't let it slide. That's goofy, man. I don't know. I guess that's what keeps me going on these old tractors. You learn something new. Same measurements, same length as the 240. Just that front prong is just, yeah, it ain't jiving. Oh well, off to the next project. Well, I ended up pulling that out. It's in the barn. I put the carryall in the barn, but yeah, I got 4 in here. That's what I planned on doing, just driving this. That's the thing about a narrow front. It's nice to have in your fleet, man, because you can get in between the old wide bodies. Well, it's been on trickle for a couple hours. I just turned it up to 40 amp just to kick some last minute juice into it, in theory. And I want to get this moved and go for broke. See how easy it is to put on the snowplow. It looks like 2 pins to me. That's about it. Pretty easy. There is 1 pin missing, and I'll show you when we get over there. Batteries on. Handshake. There we go. Still kind of started what I would call iffy. You know, yeah, it started right away, but it was a little bit. There's just a certain sound, strong sound I need to hear. And I didn't hear it. Amp gauge is bouncing up around 10, so that's at least good. I think there's a belt in there that needs tightened. I'm going to tear this sheet metal off and get to the bottom of it. My guess is an alternator belt. Hence the bouncy wouncy. Yeah, you can hear that. That's definitely an alternator belt. It's not tight enough. But for what we're doing today, oh, and I did get my free gas cap ordered, so that's cool. Yeah, it's showing pretty good charge up here on 20 amps. Let's see if we can still pick this thing up. Half throttle, not even. I mean, I can look in there and see you can see the alternator belt I mean, it's not wiggling, but I bet there's more than an inch play in it. So yeah, that's on tomorrow's agenda. It picked her up. It's decided it's okay with doing so. So let's get this, I don't know, over there somewhere, and then get that plow on. Regulators mount up on. Nice and easy. See, that's how it's supposed to be. You just sit down and you drive your tractor. Let's do the do. It's not heavy. You just don't want this smashing you in the face. And he's got a pin here that he was using. Yeah, is it the right pin? I don't know. It's one that'll work. I'm pretty convinced. That'll do it. Yeah, pretty easy. 2 pins and it's on. And that should stay. All right, now the lower half. I'm going to fire the tractor up, lift the blade up, and I think that'll swing right back into it. You can see I picked this up here, and that'll leave that dangling. I should be able to just swing that in the hole. That on this tractor, he's got the carburetor set up so that in is choke and out is not choke. That's why it's surging. Oh. Go. Just like that. Snowplow's on. Screwdriver was left. Running a lot smoother now that I fixed the choke. Holy crap. I wasn't sure what was going on. Let's lift her up and down and all around. Yeah, it barely picked it up under. It's got shoes there, but it only lifted it probably 1.5 inches above those. So that's my hole, not that. So I'm gonna fix that right now. Kept it. Now let's pick her up and down all around. Yeah, that'll work. That's a good 6-8 inches off the ground there. See ya? plow right there. Yes, sir. A handy dandy little Cubski. And somebody noticed yesterday, like, he's burning blue smoke out the exhaust. Well, there's a lot about this tractor I don't know yet. And, you know, could be too much oil in it. Could be rings. A rebuild on this isn't out of the question. This is a tractor that'll never leave the farm. I mean, why would I, you know, I'm not going to find really a better Cub unless somebody else already did the work, which kind of beats the fun out. Oh, let me show you the pin I'm missing. Well, let me pick it up first. All right, this is no big deal at all. Your angle pin right here. So, you know, you want to, you know, angle your blade like that. All I'll do is I'll use one of them Tractor Supply, you know, little thin handle pins and put in there to be perfect for that. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little rig, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ain't gonna brag to you, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, this can be lots of fun. And there's adjustments there on the blade itself, where exactly he's got it set right dead center. I'm guessing that's hey diddle diddle right in the middle. Pretty good to go. Well, let's take it for a shake and see what it's going to feel like in our 7 months of winter. We've had snow here October 18th before, and when I say snow, I'm not talking about like little teeny weeny flurries falling from the sky. If you squint real hard, you can tell it's snowing. No, I'm talking we got like 1.5 feet that year, so things could get real quickly. I'm going to trickle this battery overnight, just leave it on 2 amps, see if that helps. She's running rough. You know, yeah, the choke thing ordeal was an issue, but I really think there's fuel issues. But when I look in the sediment bowl, and I'll walk around the other side, I look in that sediment bowl and it looks clean. That's what's got me a little bit puzzled. I don't know if you can see over in there. Yeah, you can see that. Right there. Yeah, I mean, it's clean, man. There's not, I mean, I've seen, you know, that's usually what the bowls look like after I clean them. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. And that choke ordeal is gonna drive me bananas. Out is off and in is on. That ain't gonna be a working setup for me, but yeah, I'll get the kinks worked out of it, and it'll be a good machine for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next video, and maybe we won't have Jim Comey up top here, the leaker.